Good evening and welcome to Mastermind with me, Jennifer Byrne. Tonight, 4 new contenders will face television's most demanding test of memory and nerves. And here they come. Our first contender tonight is Pallavi Bharat from Right in the ACT to show off her knowledge of the romantic comedy films of Hugh Jackman. Next, from Narrabundah in the ACT, Nathan Lee's specialty is China-Australia relations. Our third contender, Nikhil Kulkarni from Roseville in New South Wales, will be tested on the history of Apple Incorporated. And finally, Phil Cotterill from Marrickville in New South Wales will recall facts on the Grateful Dead. Take a good look at these faces. One of them could be Australia's next mastermind. 2 minutes on their specialist subject, 90 seconds on general knowledge. Who will it be? Let's find out. Will the first contender join me, please? Your name?
Pallavi Bharat.
Your occupation?
Project Controls Analyst.
And your specialist subject?
Romantic comedy films of Hugh Jackman.
There's a few to choose from. Have you focused on any or the whole lot?
There are 4 films. I've got Scoop, Someone Like You, Kate and Leopold, and Paperback Hero.
Pallavi, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Your time starts now. The 1999 film Paperback Hero, starring Hugh Jackman, Claudia Carbon and Angie Milliken, was written and directed by Anthony J. Who?
Berman.
Yes. While at dinner with Kate and Leopold, Charlie Cripps' his family have a saying: you shake and shake the ketchup bottle, none will come, and then what?
Some cometh.
A lot'll. Someone Like You was released in the United Kingdom in 2001 with what alternative title?
Animal Attraction.
Correct. When Jack and Ruby are playing pool at a pub in Paperback Hero, they win a turkey after being goaded into singing which Roy Orbison song at karaoke?
Crying.
Yes. After an unannounced visit from her fiancé, Mitch, Ruby pulls out of her appearance on which fictional British TV show?
Daphne du Maurier.
The Clive Rooney Show. The screenplay for Kate and Leopold was co-written by Stephen Rogers and the film's director, James Who?
Mangold.
Correct. When Ziggy asks Ruby about plans for her next book, Ruby misunderstands Jack's instructions and tells her it's a romantic novel set during which war?
Boer War.
Correct. In Someone Like You, which communist world leader does Jane try to book as a guest on the nationally syndicated Diane Roberts show?
Pass.
Which American actress and comedian makes a brief appearance as Leopold's dance partner, Miss Tree of the Trees of Schenectady?
Christian Schall.
Yes. The tagline for the 2006 film Scoop is the perfect man, the perfect story, the perfect...
Murder.
Correct. Leopold stars in a television advertisement for which brand of fat-free, fresh creamery butter?
Farmer's Bounty.
Correct. When Sondra unexpectedly appears after having drowned in Jack's private lake, she says that she used to be the captain of which community swim team?
Brooklyn.
Correct. After returning to the present day with Leopold, Duke of Albany, Stuart rings Kate explaining how he found a portal into April 28th of which year?
1876.
Correct. In his film Scoop, Woody Allen plays the character Sid Waterman, a vaudeville magician who goes by what stage name, you may answer?
Splendini.
Correct. The only pass is the communist world leader, is Fidel Castro. You got 11 points in that round. And our second contender, please. Your name?
Nathan Lee.
Your occupation?
Public servant.
And your specialist subject?
China-Australia relations post the Chinese Revolution of 1949.
Big subject.
Bit of a mouthful.
How did that become your specialist interest?
I studied Chinese at university and have always been interested in China.
So, Nathan, are you ready? Your time starts now. Australia didn't recognise the PRC when it was founded, but retained relations with the previous regime that had relocated to which island?
Taiwan.
Correct. The year after Australia established diplomatic ties, who became the first Australian Prime Minister to visit the People's Republic of China?
Gough Whitlam.
Correct. In an historic event, which President of China delivered a speech to a joint sitting of the Australian Parliament the day after George W. Bush?
Jiang Zemin.
Hu Jintao.
Hu Jintao.
Australian architects helped design at least 7 venues, including the landmark Water Cube, for which event held in Beijing?
The Olympic Games.
Yes. Which Melbourne-based company specialising in advanced water irrigation systems started operations in China in 2009?
Pass.
In 1987, the Chinese company now known as Sino Steel acquired a 40% stake to develop which iron ore mine in the Pilbara?
Pass.
In 2016, China and Australia set up a joint health project with which other country with the aim of controlling malaria there?
Papua New Guinea.
Correct. In what year did Australia and China sign agreements on the transfer of nuclear material and cooperation in peaceful uses of nuclear energy?
2011.
2006. In 1999, Australia and New Zealand were the first Western countries that China granted ADS, which is an abbreviation of what?
Pass.
China's foreign investment policy is managed jointly by the National Development and Reform Commission and which other body?
Pass.
What was the first Australian bank to establish a presence in China when it opened a representative office in Beijing in 1982?
Westpac.
Correct. In May 2017, which Australian Trade, Tourism and Investment Minister attended the Belt and Road Forum in Beijing?
Steve Chobo.
Correct. The Australian government established which organisation in 1978 to promote people-to-people relations between Australia and China?
Australia-China Council.
Correct. In 2014, Australian Prime Minister Tony Abbott and Chinese President Xi agreed to describe their countries' relationship as what kind of partnership?
Comprehensive strategic partnership.
Yes. 4 passes for you, Nathan. The water irrigation specialist operating in China was Rubicon Water. The iron ore mine in the Pilbara was the Channa. China's foreign investment policy is co-managed by the Ministry of Commerce, and ADS stands for Approved Destination Status. With 8 points, thank you very much. Our next contender, please. Your name?
Nikhil Kulkarni,
Your occupation?
Senior Product Manager.
And your specialist subject?
History of Apple Incorporated.
Tell me, knowing about its history, does that give you a bit of an idea about its future?
Definitely. With Steve Jobs no longer at the helm at Apple, unfortunately, I think Tim Cook's doing a fantastic job. Apple's one of the most valuable companies in the world by market capitalization. So I'm pretty sure with all the people there at Apple, it'll continue to do incredibly well.
Very nice. OK, well, are you ready?
Yeah.
Your time starts now. Following Steve Jobs' insistence that it should be insanely great, which new Apple computer was released in 1984?
The Apple II.
The Macintosh. What was the name of the annual conference of Macintosh users, which was first held in San Francisco in 1985?
Macworld.
Correct. In 1977, which former Intel executive became an early investor in Apple before becoming a board member?
Mike Markkula.
Correct. What is the name of Apple's touchscreen device, midway in size between a laptop and a smartphone, released in 2010?
The iPad.
Correct. Which headphone manufacturer and music streaming business was acquired by Apple in 2014 for a reported $3 billion?
Beats.
Correct. What was the name of the first personal spreadsheet program released in 1979 and instrumental to the popularity of the Apple II?
VisiCalc.
Correct. Which Aldous Corporation program compatible with the Apple Macintosh virtually created the desktop publishing industry?
PageMaker.
Yes. Who succeeded Steve Jobs as Apple's chief executive officer when Jobs resigned due to ill health in August 2011?
Tim Cook.
Correct. In December of which year did Apple have its extremely successful initial public offering of stock?
1987.
It was 1980. During which 1984 sporting event was the famous advertisement for the Apple Macintosh, first shown nationally on US television?
The Super Bowl.
Yes. Apple, IBM and Motorola co-developed which microprocessor to run the Mac operating system?
Pass.
Who was promoted to Senior Vice President of Industrial Design at Apple in 1997 after Steve Jobs returned to the company?
Jonathan Ive.
Correct. In 1998, Apple introduced a new generation of Macintosh computers with what 4-letter name?
iMac.
Yes. Who succeeded John Sculley as Apple's Chief Executive Officer after Sculley's dismissal in 1993?
Mike Spalding.
Spindler. Which Apple co-founder sold his 10% stake in the company for only $800? You may answer.
Ron Wayne.
Correct. Well done. Just one pass for you, Nikhil. The microprocessor was PowerPC. You scored 11 correct answers. Congratulations. Join us after the break when Phil will reveal what he knows about the Grateful Dead. Be right back.
I just stabbed him.
Now streaming on SBS On Demand.
One of the clearest cases of self-defence I'd ever seen.
What sentence did you receive?
Life sentence, 12 years, non-parole.
On Dateline, how Fiji became the victim of Australia's demand for drugs.
Has the scale of the hard drug trade caught everybody by surprise?
Definitely.
And on the feed, is ADHD a disability? Now streaming on SBS On Demand.
Wish you had internet that didn't let you down? That doesn't leave you hanging? And won't have you missing any of the action? Get Vodafone NBN. With 4G backup, you can power through interruptions, and unlimited data keeps the whole family going. Get Vodafone NBN from just $65 a month. The future is exciting. Ready?
Invest with La Trobe Financial, Australia's multi-award winning wealth manager, returning 4.9% on a 12-month investment. Make your money work harder for you. Call 13 80 10.
Low prices and free delivery on millions of items. Easy as amazon.com.au.
The Toyota Corolla comes with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, as well as an 8-speaker JBL sound system. Okay, I can take a hint. Turn on the fun with Toyota Corolla. Oh, what a feeling. Toyota.
Bucket.
Light and Easy is more than just a great weight loss solution. It also gives you more time to enjoy a healthier life, simply by having delicious, healthy meals delivered to your home. In fact, Light and Easy have just been recognised as Australia's #1 healthy meal delivery service, scoring 5 stars for customer satisfaction, as well as taste, variety and freshness. All things you'll find on their new autumn menu. So whether you want to lose weight with their new Jumpstart program or enjoy a healthier life, order from the new autumn menu today.
Tonight at 7:30, is it a bird or is it a plane? No, it's Tony Robinson's Hidden Britain by Drone. Then at 8:30, Dublin Murders, followed by Project Blue Book.
Welcome back to Mastermind. It is time for our fourth contender, Phil, to take on his specialist subject round. So our final contender, please. Your name?
Phil Cotterill.
Your occupation?
Registered nurse.
And your specialist subject?
The Grateful Dead, 1968 to 1972.
Tell us why it is that you're so hooked on the Grateful Dead.
The mythology of the band, they were part of the original psychedelic hippie era from San Francisco in the late 60s.
Hence your T-shirt?
Hence the T-shirt. They incorporated folk music, blues, and especially psychedelia.
Okay.
So very open-ended jamming music, and has spawned many imitators since.
Well, that makes me keen to learn more. Are you ready?
I am.
Your time, Phil, on the subject of the Grateful Dead starts now. Nearly 8 minutes long, the song That's It for the Other One is the opening track of which Grateful Dead album?
Anthem of the Sun.
Yes. Nicknamed Knobs, who is the Grateful Dead's electronics expert who worked as a producer on Working Man's Dead alongside Betty Cantor?
Oh. Bob Matthews?
Yes. The lyrics to Dire Wolf were written after Robert Hunter and Jerry Garcia watched a black and white version of what film?
Pass.
The double album Live Dead ends with a 36-second a cappella rendition of what gospel song?
And We Bid You Good Night.
Correct. Dave Hassinger produced much of Anthem of the Sun, but quit when Bob Weir suggested trying to imitate the sound of what?
Thick air.
Heavy air.
Heavier.
The song New Speedway Boogie refers to what ill-fated venue at which the band had been scheduled to play in 1969?
The Altamont Festival.
That's right. The band's fifth studio album, American Beauty, was recorded at which studio in San Francisco's Tenderloin district?
Pacific High.
Wally Hyder's. The release of the album Working Man's Dead marked a turning point in the band's relationship with Joe Smith, the head of which record company?
Warner's.
Correct. Inspired by the band's arrest in New Orleans, what is the last song on the album American Beauty?
Trucking.
Correct. The band's in-house lyricist, Robert Hunter, was inspired by which poet when writing the words to Dark Star?
T.S. Eliot.
Correct. Keyboardist Ron Pigpen McKernan wrote and sang lead vocals for which song on the American Beauty album?
Operator.
Correct. What are the first and last names of the British designer who became the Grateful Dead's official tie-dye artist?
Courtney Pollock.
Correct. Which song, written directly after the events at Altamont, was intended for inclusion on Working Man's Dead but was ultimately omitted?
Mason's Children.
Yes. After leaving the Haight-Ashbury district, most members of the band moved to which county just north of the Golden Gate Bridge?
Marin County.
That's right. Sam Cutler became the band's tour manager in 1970, having the previous year managed the US tour of which other major band?
The Rolling Stones.
Correct, Phil. Just one pass for you, Phil. The lyrics to Dire Wolf were written after Hunter and Garcia had watched The Hound of the Baskervilles. 12 points to you on your specialist subject.
Thank you.
Terrific. So that brings us to the end of the specialist subject round. Let's have a look at all the scores. In third place, with 8 points, is Nathan. Tying in second place, both with 11 points and 1 pass, is Pallavi and Nikhil. And in the lead by a whisker at the moment with 12 points is Phil. Best start everywhere. It is now time for general knowledge round, and just like going on a blind date, the contenders will put a brave face but could feel just a little sick. Will Nathan join me again, please? So, Nathan, are you ready?
Let's do it.
Your time starts now. Celebrated annually from the first Sunday in July, the National Aboriginal and Islanders Day of Observance Committee is better known as what week?
NIDOC.
Correct. Born Ella Yellicha Connor was which New Zealand singer who won 2 Grammy Awards for her 2013 song Royals?
Lord?
Yes. The cross-legged yoga pose known as Padmasana in Hindi is often given what name in English derived from a flowering aquatic plant?
Lotus?
Correct. The former Indonesian port city of Batam gives its name to a small breed of which domesticated bird?
Pass.
Which 14-letter adjective describes a surgeon or surgery of the heart, lungs and other chest organs?
Cardiovascular?
Cardiothoracic. Oh, What a Beautiful Morning is the opening song in what Rodgers and Hammerstein musical named for a US state?
Oklahoma.
Correct. In 2003, which model, actress and businesswoman co-created and hosted the reality TV series America's Next Top Model?
Pass.
The mineral calcium carbonate was formerly a common ingredient in which implement used for writing on blackboards?
Chalk.
Correct. The car race considered to be Australia's first ever Grand Prix was held in 1928 on which island?
Phillip.
Correct. Mount Rushmore depicts the carved faces of Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, Abraham Lincoln and which other American president?
George Washington.
Yes. Which Italian fashion house uses the head of the Greek mythological Gorgon Medusa as its trademark?
Gucci.
Versace. 2 passes for you, Nathan. That's all. Tyra Banks was the co-creator and host of America's Next Top Model, and that Indonesian port city of Batam gave its name to a chicken. 7 points correctly you achieved, and that brings you to a total of 15. Well done. Thank you. And now can we have Nikhil to the chair, please? Well, you're in equal second place with 11 points. I think that we're probably ready to go straight into it.
That's good.
Nikhil, your general knowledge round starts now. Which chart-topping Scottish singer found fame after she sang I Dreamed a Dream on TV's Britain's Got Talent in 2009?
Pass.
The most massive animal ever to have lived is the species of baleen whale with what common name?
The blue whale.
Correct. What is the term in art for the depiction of three-dimensional objects on a two-dimensional surface?
Isometric.
Perspective. Which high-profile former Labour Party senator released the 2017 book One Hell of a Story?
Pass.
Invented in 1679 by French physicist Denis Papin, the steam digester was a forerunner of which modern kitchen device?
The water kettle.
The pressure cooker. Which popular microblogging and social media platform featuring Larry the Bird as its original logo?
Twitter.
Correct. Who won an Oscar for her screenplay for the film Sense and Sensibility, in which she also played the role of Eleanor Dashwood?
Pass.
Typically caused by a virus or bacteria, inflammation of the tonsils is known by what medical term?
Tonsils.
Tonsillitis. An album released in 1991 to unanimous critical praise, Loveless was recorded by influential shoegaze group My Bloody what?
Pass.
Running to 888 pages, the Warren Commission's final report concluded that in 1963, John F. Kennedy was assassinated by which former Marine?
Scott F. Fitzgerald.
Lee Harvey Oswald. Among his other titles, I've started so I will finish, the Roman Catholic Pope is also known as the Bishop of which capital city? You may answer...
The Vatican.
Rome. 4 passes for you in that round, Nikhil. We'll run through them quickly. Loveless was recorded by My Bloody Valentine. Sam Dastiari wrote One Hell of a Story. Emma Thompson won an Oscar for Sense and Sensibility, and it was Susan Boyle who dreamed a dream in 2009. You received 2 points for this round, bringing you to a total of 13. After the break, our final 2 contenders, Pallavi and Phil, take to the chair again. See you soon.
In SBS World News, the government to fund 100 pop-up clinics as part of a $2.4 billion coronavirus health response. Also, Italy added to the banned travel list as the crisis escalates, and how healthy are veggie-based snack foods? We'll have the details tonight, 6:30 SBS.
They have the fame, but can they win the game?
Oh, yeah! Because Mastermind isn't wrong.
Can Myth and Joel brush up on their trivia before Eurovision? Celebrity Mastermind, Saturday 7:30 on SBS and on demand.
The creative process is for me the most interesting part of cooking.
The precision performance of the new Generation 7000 Miele oven frees up your creativity. With exclusive technology like wireless food probe, food view, and taste control, every dish is consistently perfect.
To create something great, you have to give the smallest details all your attention.
Redefine perfection with Miele.
What's the key to never skipping a beat? It's the Nissan Qashqai, the key to it all. Now available with 2.9% finance, plus get up to 3 years free service when you finance with Nissan.
When you connect to the NBN Access Network, you'll have a choice of different speed plans available. Evening, Kate.
Hi, Brendan.
And your provider can help select the right speed plan for you.
Hearing loss separates you from people. I had the top-of-the-range hearing aids, and that was not enough.
I couldn't talk to my family, I couldn't talk to my grandkids. That was my wake-up call.
That was my wake-up call. The cochlear implant is a gift.
I can pick up the phone and talk to my grandchildren. I can hear my daughter. It's given me back my life.
Gloss black grille, 19-inch black alloy wheels, panoramic sunroof, and more. New Sorrento Black Edition from $48,990 drive away.
Redefine perfection with Miele.
I am the breath of anticipation, the chill down your spine. I am the knowing smile. I am a wolf in sheep's clothing, the hero and the villain. I am your next obsession.
Welcome back to Mastermind. Our final two contenders, Pallavi and Phil, are ready to face their general knowledge challenge. And joining me next is Pallavi. Well, Pallavi, welcome back. The figure to beat is 15. So are you ready?
Yes.
Your time starts now. In 2019, who became the first Australian woman to achieve a world #1 tennis ranking since Yvonne Goolagong-Cawley in 1976?
Ash Barty.
Correct. During the 1993 federal election campaign, John Hewson was unable to give Mike Willesee the price of what food item under the proposed GST?
Bread.
Birthday cake. The pinna, also known as the auricle, is the visible external part of which human sense organ?
The eye.
The ear. Made into a 2019 film was which award-winning British period TV series centering around the Crawley family?
The Downton Abbey.
Correct. In mathematics, summation is typically denoted by which uppercase letter of the Greek alphabet?
Omega.
Sigma. In a nod to the new Start menu feature, which song by the Rolling Stones was used during the launch of Microsoft's Windows 95 operating system?
I'll Be There.
Start Me Up. Which prestigious annual film and television awards are presented by the Hollywood Foreign Press Association?
Golden Globes.
Correct. In most English translations of the Bible, including the King James, the book of Genesis begins with which three words?
In the beginning.
Correct. What name is given to the pollen-producing reproductive organ of a flower consisting of a filament and an anther?
Stamen.
Yes. Having its world premiere in New York in 1967 was which rock musical by Jerome Ranier and James Rado, famed for its nude scene and songs about drugs?
The Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Hair. Which salad ingredient is famously squashed and thrown in an annual food fight festival in the Valencian town of Buñol?
Tomatoes.
Correct. And you got 6 answers correct then, Pallavi. You are now in the lead with 17 points. And finally, Phil, please join us. Well, it's a tight one, Phil. You come in with 12 points. Your time in the general knowledge round starts now. Adapted into a stage musical in 2004 was which 1987 film starring Patrick Swayze as Johnny Castle?
Dirty Dancing.
Correct. In classical Euclidean geometry, the sum of the interior angles of any triangle is equal to how many degrees?
Oh, pass.
Which multiplayer online role-playing game has expansions that include Wrath of the Lich King, Mists of Pandaria and Legion?
World of Warcraft.
Correct. The Big Show is a nickname of Glenn Maxwell, who has represented Australia in which team sport?
Cricket.
Correct. The common name of which amphibian derives from it being several times longer as a tadpole than it is as an adult?
Pass.
In July 1935, Ariel by André Maurois became the first paperback to be published by which company which has a bird as its logo?
Penguin.
Correct. Soviet cosmonaut Alexei Leonov is best remembered for becoming, in March 1965, the first person to perform what activity in orbit?
Spacewalk.
Correct. In 2012, WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange sought and gained political asylum in the London embassy of which country?
Ecuador.
Correct. Isotopes are 2 or more forms of the same chemical element that have differing numbers of which subatomic particle?
Pass.
The tallest twin towers in the world, the Petronas Towers, are located in which Asian city?
Kuala Lumpur.
Correct. The flag of which country consists of 3 vertical stripes, green representing Catholics, orange for Protestants and white for peace?
Portugal.
It's the Republic of Ireland. 3 passes for you in this, Phil. It's neutrons, which distinguish isotopes. 180 degrees is the number for all triangles, and the amphibian, which is several times longer as a tadpole than as an adult, is the paradoxical frog. You scored 7 points in that round, bringing you to a total, Phil, of 19.
Thank you.
Let's check out those final scores. In fourth place, with 13 points, is Nikhil. In third place, with 15 points, Nathan. In second place, with 17 points, is Pallavi. But at the end, first place, with 19 points, to Phil. Congratulations to tonight's winner, the Deadhead Phil. We will see you again for our weekly final, and that is our show for tonight. Thank you for watching, and I hope playing along at home. Can you handle the spotlight? You don't know till you give it a go. Why don't you visit sbs.com.au/mastermind and apply. Hope you'll be joining us again tomorrow night for more Mastermind. I'm Jennifer Byrne, and good night to you.